Alright, so we have Backlash. So the last time you will see John Cena in St. Louis, even though for the longest time you couldn't see him anyways. Again, another nice, solid, like 5-match card. I'll let we start off with that Fatal 4-Way. So that was for the U.S. Championship. So it was Jacob Fatu, LA Knight, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre. I like how with this one, instead of being, there's 2 guys in the ring, very often there's 3 guys in the ring, with the fourth person kind of playing off as the spoiler. Occasionally going down to 2. I was like, I like the flow of this match. There's a sequence that they did where Fatu is on like the top turnbuckle. He just finished like knocking off. No, he ended up knocking off LA Knight while Drew McIntyre's in the Tree of Woe. I'm like, all right. Drew leans up, grabs Fatu. Fatu gets launched. Technically does a swanton onto LA Knight. Rolls through. Does like this, the hip check. And I was like, then hits the other ropes. Dives to the outside of the ring to take out Damian Priest. And I was like, whoever's booking these matches for Jacob Fatu, he looks like an absolute monster in these matches. And it runs really well. Damian and Drew were in the middle of their 14-month-long blood feud. They need to do something with them. I mean, there's enough breadcrumbs to make the trail, and it's fine. They then South of Heaven choke slam outside of the ring through some tables. So they're taken out. It looks like LA Knight has this whole thing taken care of. He's got this figured out. He's gonna win the title back. And I'm like, okay. Why? Because he's got Fatu on the table. Solo pulls Fatu off the table. Knight gets into Solo's face. And then Jeff Cobb attacks LA Knight. Solo's like, I'm all the soldiers, because the Tongans had hurt. Okay. If we now have the team of Jacob Fatu, Jeff Cobb, and Solo Sikoa, that's some beefy looking dudes. And Fatu's like, I need your help. He has much look of like, I got this. I need you. I don't. They help him win. He retains. He walks back the ramp like, nah, I mean, nah. So, if we get to see the Solo Sikoa Jacob Fatu with maybe some Jeff Cobb thrown in there, maybe we do something later on with Fatu and Braun Breaker, where the Samoa World takes on the big dog. I'm fine with that. But hot opener, crowd was stupid into it. I'm like, good. I want this. I want the crowd. It was out of all matches, the best one to pick to really kind of like pop the crowd and set the tone. Next match we had was the Women's Intercontinental match. This is your one women's match on the event, which is fine. They have to build up things for Saturday's main event too. Technically, it worked really well. There are some moments that they got kind of overzealous. I think it's probably because Becky hasn't worked a lot of singles matches. It's her first singles match in like over a year. Lyra's still trying to get her character and all of her moves perfectly in sync. But very solid, very technical match. I like the I'm bringing the steel chair. Ref, I'm taking a steel chair. Okay, cool. I'm taking it on the turnbuckle pad. Goes to throw her into that turnbuckle. No, Lyra slides down and hits the middle turnbuckle. Becky's like, so we had like 3 manhandle slams. The first one, Becky hit it and didn't sink the covering deep. Second one, it was another kick out. Third one, I'm like, did we just devalue that finisher? I mean, the first one made sense because, she hit it, didn't go body on body, just kind of like, had her arm across her shoulders and hooked the leg. And I'm like, it kind of makes sense. Saw the Nightwing and ended up having a finish of just kind of some roll-up attempts and getting out of submissions. And then it looked like a thumb to the eye, but it went to like the wrong eyeball and kind of like smacked like Lyra straight in the face. Instead of going for this eye, which you normally do, well, they went like this way. So like the eye, put like the thumb to the eye, and then like the palm strike to the bridge of the nose. So you see her holding her nose. And then when the match was done, I'm like, her nose looks just slightly askew. Normally a broken nose, there's a lot of blood, but this you can tell it was just, wasn't like, John Cena's nose, right? But you can tell it just wasn't, it was like kind of, and I was like, okay, well, solid match. Lynch then beat the daylights out of Lyra, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, if the reason for Lynch to come back is to help develop Lyra and to get her over more, I'm fine with this angle. If this then leads to a Bayley-Becky thing, fine with that too. I'd like that direction. Then we go into Penta versus Dirty Dominic. Mysterio. It's cool now that Dom isn't always selling in all of his matches. That he gets to show off like, oh, hey, by the way, I'm pretty good at this stuff too. He hit some beautiful Hurricane Ranas. And I was like, man, he's feel that Dominic can actually go in the ring too. He's not just the guy who gets the crap beat out of him and the crowd hates him. Judgment Day comes down, try to help out. And, JD's holding Penta. Finn's like, wait, I'm going to get a chair. It takes such a long time. The ref's like, wait a minute. What are you guys trying to do? Tries to throw them all out. Penta then gets attacked by El Grande Americano with the world's strongest headbutt. Frog Splash, 1, 2, 3. Dirty Dominic, the only person to beat Penta. Done it twice. Retains. I like how they're still teasing the break with Judgment Day. It is bad that Penta's losing, but he's losing in these like overbooked kind of, there's like 5 people get involved in the match. That's why he lost. If this leads to him maybe getting some backup around draft time, Lucha Bros need to be a tag team right off the bat, but just have them kind of, helping each other on the singles matches because they're both getting ganged up on. I'm fine with that. Again, solid match. Crowd was invested into it. It's weird hearing Dirty, Dirty Dom. Let's go Penta. Dirty, Dirty Dom. But Penta, a ton of fun to watch. Man, he is tailor-made for the WWE. I'm like, all right, 3 matches. All of them been really good. Pat McAfee, Gunther. So both those guys are younger than I am. By like a lot. And I'm like, oh, wow. McAfee, like heart of a champion, keeps on trying to get up. Got the crap beat out of him. Cole and Gunther got into it a little bit. I thought we were going to see a fantastic, so you've got Gunther's been chopping him, big kicks, power bombs, German suplexes. It was a suplex, McAfee from the outside in. And Cole's there. Cole grabs his ankle and is laying down. I'm like, oh, I'm like, if they beat Gunther with the assist, like I'm holding his leg down. I'm like, I love that. That'd be brilliant. It's not how it is, but so I was like, man, if it ends that way, that's fantastic way that I did it. They trade sleepers back and forth. And then eventually, McAfee goes like pure grimace face, just like jet purple, passes out. Gunther then shows his respect to McAfee. He's like, hey, you got in the ring, took a beating. I'm cool with you. I think it's more like I respect him or anything else. But I was like, man, that was a solid match. We're 4 for 4. All these matches told a good story. The way they built it up, the way they built the moments. I was like, this was good. I like where we're at. Orton Cena. Half of this match was really good. Then we start getting into the I hit my finisher. I hit my finisher again. Like, all right, we're at 2 finishers apiece. Went for a third one and first ref bump. Okay. The ref's not super knocked out. Okay, cool. Second ref bump on the outside. So we had, Cena getting pushed in the ref hitting the ring steps. I'm like, okay. And the ref's just, he's gone. That's it. I'm like, okay. A little bit of chicanery, a little bit of some tactics again. Second ref comes down. That ref eats the belt shot. So that ref is down. So we've done 3 ref bumps and 2 refs. And then Orton's like, I AA through this table. I stepped another table. I AA through that table. Bring inside the ring. And RKO. Crowd counting. RKO in the ring. Everyone's like, here we go. The producers and Nick Aldis come running to check on the ref. I'm thinking, do you only have 2 refs? Only have 2 refs. Could a general manager also count as a ref? You know, like, could he come down to the ring and also, you know, like do the count? No, instead the producers checked on the refs. RKO to the producers. John Cena's trying to stand up. Orton, going for the punt. Going for the punt. The pounce. That'd be kind of cool too. Line up for the punt. R-Truth comes down. You can't do this, Randy. RKO to Randy. RKO from Randy to Truth. Every's RKO like all the producers. And Nick Aldis. Cena, low blow. We get AA. So now the ref all slides back into the ring. 1, 2, 3. And I was like, it's just, it's like, I don't mind, you know, booking in some interference. This felt like I was watching like a Wrestling Bios recap of like the Vince Russo era WCW booking where it's like, and ref bump. Okay. Do some stuff. And ref bump. Okay. What about the first ref? First ref is he's just out. So we bring a second ref. That ref's also out. Okay. Then the producers come down. Why the producers? No, just go. Producers come down next. Okay. But visible pin. But the producers are there, and we only have 2 refs. And then Cena says, you know, he doesn't need theme music. And I'll be honest, if John Cena were to come down and it just says John Cena and there's no music, it'd be kind of cool. Sorry, another. And then it ends up, he's like, well, he needs competition. I'm like, okay. And then I started thinking, it'd be cool to see whoever wins Money in the Bank be someone who stalks John Cena. Because then Cena can squeak out a victory. That guy can come down and lay out John Cena the title from him. So I almost wouldn't mind, you know, John Cena having the person he's actually fighting, and then a Money in the Bank guy tracking him down too. But now that R-Truth got involved, it's like, I actually wouldn't mind the person who beats John Cena and overcomes his boyhood hero is R-Truth. It's random. Unless what they end up doing is Cody takes him on again at SummerSlam, but is that Cardi B? Cardi B gets involved and attacks. So then as John Cena's having a problem because he's constantly losing to John Cena and rappers, and Cody just can't beat John Cena and a rapper, he then goes to R-Truth, whose childhood influence was John Cena, but R-Truth also has done rapping to try to see if he can use that as a way to counteract all of the rappers that John Cena has, and then that's how he wins the title. But I mean, if you were there, like the crowd loved it, the crowd ate it up. Which, I mean, that's 90% of it. If the crowd is there, the people who paid the probably several $100 for a ticket were there and they were excited and they were happy, you know, that's, I can see putting more stock into what they say as opposed to someone who's just watching it on like the $10 a month they spend on Peacock. Actually, I spent like $7. I'm not ad free. Didn't see a reason for it. But, you know, another solid one. If you look at it, you know, you had 4 solid matches and a final match that was halfway pretty good, and then it's got kind of a slog to watch, but Cena's trying to ruin wrestling, and that's his go-to.